Trish, leadyourlifestyle.com. Just want to share today with you a quite a bizarre experience that happened to me at the hairdressers. I was just about to leave the salon and sitting 4 chairs up from me. It was interesting because I was having a conversation with the hairdresser and she was asking me when am I going to America next, because she knows that she sort of gets my hair sort of prepared and knows what colors to use in the lead up to heading over to America, because I'm gone for 2 months. And for any one of you out there that relies on the regular hairdresser, well, when I go to America, I have to find a new hairdresser each time, and it's a bit challenging. So she has to write down all the colors on the card for me to take over to America to get my hair done. So we were having that conversation, and a woman that was sitting 4 chairs up from me said something, because I talked about Northeast Ohio, because that's where my business is located. Because I said, gee, sometimes it's really challenging to find a hairdresser that can do what you do, especially in Northeast Ohio. And the woman said, I own houses in Northeast Ohio. And I sort of looked at her really baffled, because here I am sitting in a salon in Newcastle, New South Wales, Australia. And hi Fatma, great to see you. Just sharing a story today of me at the hairdressers and sitting there, and a woman just happens to talk about houses, investment properties that she's got in Northeast Ohio. And it really shocked me, because I'm here, Newcastle, New South Wales, Australia, and I'm hearing a conversation about somebody investing in a place in Northeast Ohio. Hi, Angie. And that's really unusual. That's a super unusual thing. Like, for 2 people to be sitting in a salon where we're the only 2 people there. And she has investment properties. Now, for any of you that know me, I've been investing in Northeast Ohio for about 10 years now, 10 to 12 years. And my business, my primary business, is all about that. And I'm thinking, this is just really bizarre, really crazy. And she started to tell me that, because I said, where in Northeast Ohio? And she says, oh, I can't remember the name of the place. My husband would know the names of the place. He could just rattle them off. And hey, Viv, Boo, hey, Renee, great to see you watching. And I said, where's this suburb, or where's this neighborhood in Northeast Ohio? And she had no idea. And she proceeded to tell me that she owned 12 houses over there, which was a bit strange, I must admit, because anyone that owns 12 houses over there would certainly know the suburbs or the neighborhoods that they are investing in. And then she started to go down a bit of a negative route with it, saying, oh, we had to go in and we had to sell all the houses, and because drug lords moved into these houses. And I went, wow, where exactly is this? I was trying to get out of her, where is it? And she still couldn't tell me. She was saying somewhere down south, not Northeast Ohio, but it was somewhere near Columbus. And I was quite sort of shocked at sort of the negativity that was coming out of her. But I was still quite shocked at this woman sitting 4 chairs up from me, that he's investing in Northeast Ohio, the same places where my business, my company is. It was still quite shocking. She didn't really be as surprised, but I was. And she proceeded to tell me that she'd sold these houses, and she's now decided, her and her husband have now decided to go into a syndicate down in Texas. So that's right the way across the country. And it really did get me thinking about what makes failure and what makes success. Here we are, we've got 2 women sitting in a hair salon halfway across the world from their investment properties. And one woman has a very negative spin on the situation and has decided to completely sell out of the situation, to get out of it. And I have a completely positive experience, and I am actually defending or justifying why my experience is good. And I was struggling a little bit with that, thinking, well, because she was saying, it's such a volatile area, and you just don't know where you're buying. And I had to say to her, well, it takes a lot of years of research, and it takes a lot of years of building people that you trust and teams that you trust to be able to establish something and build something for you that you're comfortable with. And by having people that have actually grown up in those areas, and having people, so the people that I have, they've grown up, but they've also got contractors and maintenance people that live in those streets as well. So you've constantly got people that are watching what's going on in the neighborhoods. And I've not experienced issues like that. So it's just funny how, first of all, I think it's what makes one person successful and what makes the other person not so successful. And I think the other thing was, I've been meditating a lot. And when we talk about the universe lines up people, circumstances, and events for you, that was a perfect example of someone being placed in the same salon in Newcastle. I've got to see who's here. I'm going to keep these glasses on. Fatma. Sean. Hi, Sean. How you going? Great to see that you're watching. Great to see you. Just such a great example of the universe really placing someone in the same salon that's actually investing in the same neighborhoods, in the same area in Ohio that I have my business in. That just truly shocked me. So anyway, we started to talk a little bit further as I was about to leave, and she started to tell me that she loves travel, and she's got a retreat that she's got organized. There's a whole bunch of ladies going to Cambodia and Vietnam towards the end of the year, and it's a bit like a spiritual retreat. And they're going to go to temples, and they've got a life coach lined up for one day to speak to them, a lifestyle coach. They've got cooking classes that they're going to do. They're going to go to different towns or villages and do some cooking classes. And it all sounded really, really good. And I said to her, she said, I'll give you my card and I'll email you the details. Hi, Viv. And I'll email you the details of this retreat in Cambodia and Vietnam. And I said, great. I said, have you got a brochure? Have you got anything that gives me some details? Oh no, I only invite those that are ready for it. I only invite those that are, it was very an exclusive situation. So in other words, she'd made her decision, or she'd made her mind up that I could be invited. After our conversation, she felt that, okay, so I was, I don't know, in that sort of class of people. I think she was sort of saying that I could be invited, like I could be accepted, which I thought was a bit strange, to make that conversation about exclusivity and the fact that now I've had that conversation with you, you would be eligible to come to this retreat. However, thinking about that a little further, we sort of do it through our business, our sales funnels, don't we? We sort of qualify people to make sure people are up for our business model. We qualify people all the way through the process to make sure that they're up for being part and participating and being part of this process of building an online business. So it was just very, very interesting. I sort of went into a bit of a judgment mode, and everyone's doing the same thing really when it comes to promoting or marketing their own business, and they're going through a bit of a qualification process to see if people are eligible to come along to pay whatever it is, the product or service. And Fatma, your filtering is important. Look, this is incredible, because I don't know, I'm sort of going off into different tangents, because as I'm talking, it's taking me into different areas, because this whole conversation today was all a bit strange, and I think that it's just taking me off into different tangents. And I think the first is about exclusivity and filtering, and she felt I was the right person to ask and invite for this retreat. And then I'm in my mind, as she's saying that, I'm actually thinking, wow, she'd be fantastic for SFM. I'm thinking to myself, she would be a perfect, SFM member that potentially would like to position themselves in DEA. And I'm thinking that would be very cool. So then I started thinking, well, she's actually my target market. She's actually someone that I would love to have on board with respect to the business, because you know that she has, done the spiritual work. She's worked on herself. She's done some inner work. She knows what it takes to build something. She's invested overseas. That takes a lot of courage, a lot of boldness to do that. And so I'm standing there as she's talking to me and she's filtering me. I'm actually standing there listening to her, filtering her, thinking, she'd be an ideal client as well for SFM. Hi, Kylie, how you going? So just sharing the story at the hairdressers. So interesting what you can pick up and what conversations you can have at the hairdressers and how many ideas it can conjure up for you. But the fact that that woman was sitting 4 chairs up from me and she was investing in Ohio in real estate was incredible. It really was. Her property portfolio completely unsuccessful and my portfolio successful. And you have to ask the question, well, what's the difference? What's the difference between the two situations? I would put it down to experience. I would put it down to skin in the game. I would put it down to the teams that you have built around you. I would put it down to the training and the mentoring, and it's collective. It's what you've collected over many, many, many years. Because the funny thing she did say to me was, did you attend a course? Oh, and I just looked straight at her and I says, I have done heaps of stuff. Like not just one course, I've done heaps of stuff. This is another thing that came out of that conversation. She went down to Sydney and she did a course. This course taught people how to invest in US real estate. They were charging $42,000 for that course. I think it was over 3 days, and I think that there was some follow-up coaching with that as well. So plenty of people were enrolling and subscribing into that $42,000 program. So what I do want to say to you as well out of that conversation is that there is money out there. People have money. Education is key, Fatma, correct. Yeah, there's plenty of money out there. People have plenty of money. There's money out there. People are wanting to, find education. They're wanting to be coached. They're wanting that ability to move in. They want the knowledge to be able to go in and do something that's unique and special and different, that's going to get them ahead of the game, or is going to get them to lead the lifestyle that they really want to live. So some interesting aspects that came out of that whole conversation. That was the difference between someone that was failing and someone that was not failing, but not so successful, and someone that was successful in the same business. Very interesting. And it comes down to multiple factors. And I think it also comes down to belief as well, what your belief system is and what you believe in with respect to what you think is going to work and what you think is not going to work. So that's my share. What an interesting conversation. The universe put us two together in the same room, in the same salon, doing the same things, and that conversation transpired and it sort of sparked off so many different things and conversations out of that whole thing. And passion, Viv, that's right. And being unwilling to fail, that's true. And that's a mindset, isn't it, Viv? That's a mindset that you develop over time with a journey like we're on, with respect to the training and the education that we get, and the self-education that you do at home when you read those books, when you listen to those audios. You're always expanding on that mindset consistently. So you're right, you're spot on there. I think it's the mindset that can make the difference between success and not so successful. I think that's it. I think that's the golden nuggets that I got out of that salon visit today. Very important, I think, and very important messages that came out of that. Filtering was the other thing, making sure that, we're all doing it. We're all doing it for our businesses. We're, in a way just thinking they would be great for this business, or they would be great for this product or service. And she was doing exactly the same thing as me. It's quite funny. We're both doing the same thing at the same time. So that's the other thing too. I think I have to order some business cards, because she gave me a business card as well. And I've realized that I don't have any anymore because I rely on social media so much. So I'm rambling. That's my share today. Great to see you here, David. Just scrolling down. Fatma, education is key. Great to see you, Kylie. And a lot of Australians and New Zealanders on this one. I think the time is really good. Viv, Sean, great to see you. Lucy, great that you're watching. And Renee, great that you're watching too. And Lois, great to see that you're here. Angie, and that's everyone. So that's my share. Interesting visit to the hair salon today. Over and out, everyone. Bye.